Well, this is a little more informal than most opening days because we opened yesterday and it's so different now with, it used to be Midnight Madness and all this. Now we've kind of had a new way of looking at things. But the other part that's different is we went to Spain, so we've kind of, seems like we've been practicing forever. But the good news is I like my team. The first official day was good. Today is day 2, and it's actually good to get back with you guys too. As you get older in this job, you kind of realize that what I learned real early in life: everybody's got a job to do, everybody's got a boss to please, and you and I got something in common. You got all the readers, and I got 600,000 living alums to please. So we both really should help each other a little more than we do. In some ways, I feel like we already have been started. When you go to Spain, and in that Spain trip, I thought we played pretty well. It was hard to get a little bit of a feel because I had so many guys that I wanted to play. So I kept everybody from like 12 minutes to 20 minutes. Most guys played like 16 to 20 minutes, which means you get to see a lot of people. You don't get as good a flow. A little hard to see what they did per minute, so we had to work on some things on that. There were some highlights over there. Jackson Kohler played, very well. Fears was not 100%, but I think 95% back. Booker, one game had 19 in the first half. I don't think I've ever had a player get 19 in the first half. We played really good against a good competition the first game. Pretty good against a team that wasn't as good the second game. And the third game, we asked them to, try to get somebody. So they went out and got a Serbian team that had been practicing for 3 weeks, and they were really good. And the score was 115 to 110 or something. We got beat. But again, we did not play it as a game. I subbed freely the whole time. But I did get something out of that thing. The biggest thing I got out of it is I think we're a lot tougher team than we were last year, but not compared to those guys. I thought we got punked a little bit, especially with our guards. I don't think we were ready for the pressure they were going to put on us, but it's not something that worries me. The workouts have been great all summer. Lorenzo does a great job with the strength and conditioning part of it, and he continued to do that. As I said, Book gained probably 22 pounds. That was big for him. We'd like Trey to gain a little bit more. For the most part, seeing Xavier Tillman and Draymond last week, I didn't have anybody that came in 280. So most of my guys have to gain weight, not lose weight. And we made some progress, a lot of progress with Book, which was very encouraging. The other guys, some progress. Guys like Jackson Kohler, I think, lost about 2 pounds, which was good, but he just leaned his body up, and he's been a bright spot. I think our 2 transfers have both been good. Frankie led us in scoring over there, averaged like 18 a game, and Shimon is physical, big, strong, 7 foot. He can shoot a 3. Still got things to work on, but I was very impressed with him too. Fred's here because the Tigers just started playing.
Right during a game, you got to have your first press conference.
Go to my office and watch it. This isn't going to get you much.
To the radio on it here.
So we got a couple things coming up. I know I said you guys want to watch a half hour, 45 minutes of practice. That's up to you. But we got some great events coming up. We've combined our Midnight Madness with our camp out. I want to know, in all the years I've done the camp out, I think 28 out of the 29, COVID, we didn't do it. I've had different people camp out with us, never, I don't think, a media member. So if he wants to camp out, I'll supply the tent, maybe the sleeping bag for some of you. I'm probably going to have a little mattress now, but I don't think I would give that to most of you. But it is going to be a heck of an event because we're going to have Midnight Madness earlier, then we're going to go over and watch the game. We're going to have some TVs outside. We're going to watch the game outside, and then we'll have our little ceremony at halftime of the game, finish up with the game, and then most people that are fans will leave and go to sleep, and the 4,000 or 5,000 students and I, the hopefully 1,500 tents, we'll stay up till 4 in the morning. It's kind of a cool thing. Pray for no rain. It's only rained 2 of the 20-some times that I've done it, and I gutted it out. I'll tell you a funny story. Last year it started to sprinkle a little bit, and I'm in my tent. It's about 3:30 in the morning, and you know, kids are walking around playing soccer, doing this, doing that. This guy come walking by with his girlfriend, and my tent's right there in the front, and most people know where mine is, and I heard him say, yeah, that so-and-so Izzo is probably back home sleeping out. I unzipped the thing, and I said, no, that so-and-so Izzo's got his butt right here. That poor kid, man, he didn't know what to do, so it was awesome. But so that's going to be exciting for us. I think something different, as we always try. Our marketing people have done a phenomenal job with everything. In fact, you know, look at our football season. I think Jonathan's off to a great start. Tough loss Saturday, but you know, Giles has been good. He kind of reminds me of a Valentine or Winston. You know, guys when they're young, and you can see the talent they have, and yet experience does matter. And hopefully they grow into the he grows into the All-Americans they did in my sport. But I think if you look at the marketing there, even in our student section has gotten better and better. And so I give a lot of credit to a lot of people, and now it's time for us to hopefully put the next 4 or 5 weeks together. We're going on a trip to Northern Michigan University, and I've wanted to do this for many years, and I finally decided I was going to do it. That's going to be an interesting trip. Go up there, trying to do some things in the prison and some things that Mariucci and I did throughout our incredible Division II playing days. So we'll go up there and have an exhibition with Northern, and I'll talk about the schedule and all that things at a different press conference. But if there's a couple questions, I'll answer them now before we go downstairs. I am fired up though, Fred. I just want you to know. I was on the road a couple times, checking my phone for those Tiger games. I was watching what I could watch. Really happy for those guys. Lions are gonna hopefully keep winning. Spartans got a big game this Saturday. Volleyball, field hockey, or the soccer team's killing it. Great time to be here, Fred. All this great MSU sports and the Tigers. How can you beat that?
Hearing about that trip, what is your, I guess, excitement level and hope in seeing what Jeremy did over there, and how much has he progressed even more since?
You know, he's progressed, but I will tell you this. What I have in those guards, I mean, I've been very impressed. Trey Holloman has been phenomenal, and he is shooting it way better than last year, so he can play both. And Jace Richardson is in the same boat. So Jeremy's health is at probably 95%. He still at times maybe doesn't have quite the explosion, but it's coming every day. It's getting better and better. Phenomenal passer, continually working on his shooting. Thank God he's a very good free throw shooter. But yeah, he made some steps. That was good for him. That was one of the reasons we did it, to try to get some guys like that a chance to play. Cohen Carr was the other one that had some incredible plays. We got him in the open court a lot. He has improved his shooting. He's improved his free throw shooting. But what he's really done is he's taken it to the hole even better and put the ball on the floor better. So hopefully those things will lead to some good things.
That Spain trip, beyond the obvious camaraderie, in a basketball sense, did it help this team, because you can't duplicate that in a week of practice?
Yeah, you know, I mean, you never know. I mean, it's, you know, the middle of August. I think it did, because I think the couple things we did well, we talked about. The couple things we did poorly, turned the ball over a little bit in that last game and stuff. The last game was cool because we played in Barcelona, and I go walking through, and there's a mural of magic, and I made my son stand there. I took a picture and sent it to Irvin and realized that that's where they played the '92 Olympics, the Dream Team. So that was cool. But other than that, the basketball was better than sometimes. I mean, sometimes when you go over at that time of year, a lot of teams are winning by 50, and you know, we had one game that I think was a little more lopsided, but the other two games are really good.
Tom, this is about college basketball in your program. Biggest bright spot, biggest concern for both college basketball and your program at this point?
Well, the program, you know, it's just getting back in championship caliber, you know, and that's the biggest thing that I want to see this team rise up to. You know, last year I told you we lost 5 games. We were leading in the last 2-3 minutes. That's unexcusable. The coach has to take responsibility for that, which I do, and hopefully we're fixing that. We've done a lot more with last-second shots and working on shot clock stuff at the end, and maybe the education of it. As far as college basketball, college sports is a better way to put it. Interesting time, you know. I don't have the answers. You're seeing it in recruiting. You're seeing it everywhere. It's a changing phenomenon right now that I think we're all trying to adjust to. I think coaches are, administrators are, fans are, even the student athletes are. And I just hope and pray that we get enough guardrails around it that in any profession, there's got to be some rules. And if there's not, then I think things do get out of control. So I'm hoping we get our arms around it a little bit. We all get on the same page. And it's the hardest thing right now from a standpoint of where are we? Doesn't matter as much as where is everybody else. And what I mean by that is I can figure out where we are and what I like and don't like. I don't know where everybody else is because so many teams, I mean, there's teams in our league that have 9-10 different transfers. And so do they fit in? We've seen some teams flourish from it. We've seen a couple of football teams down in Florida go the other way from it. And only time will tell, but it's going to be interesting. When the rankings come out, I don't know how anybody, you know, I talked to Nick Saban about it before he went to the first game. I don't know how anybody knows who anybody's going to be. I really don't. I mean, there'll be a couple teams, but it's going to be a lot of changing of the guards as the year goes on, I think.
You mentioned the toughness. You mentioned the toughness thing.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering where you see that already. So he's the tougher group.
Well, we're bigger. Frankie's a lot bigger at the wing. We're bigger there. I think definitely at center, both Shimon and Coop have improved a lot. They're more physical, and I think at the 4 we've got a variety of guys we can go with. But in Book and Jackson, we're Book's more physical than he was, and Jackson's a lot more physical than he was. So I think we're going to be more physical as a team. We have better depth, and now it's finding that go-to guy down the stretch that I think will be key. Yes.
I mean, I was going to ask about the toughness.
Go ahead, I'll have a cookie on you.
Yeah, I'll have a cookie.
Great. Okay, so what were you going to ask?
I was going to ask about the toughness and who brought the extra but you answered that. So if somebody else wants to take the last question.
Year 30, you know, just what was it like, you know, starting practice and head coach at this place? And so
You know what? I had my hip replaced this summer. You know, I don't think that's new news. But, man, I'll advise anybody, I don't care if you're 30, 40, 50, or 60, don't wait too long because I feel so much better. I feel healthier. I feel happier. It's a good thing practice starts so I can get back to being miserable. It's been too good of a summer, you know. But year 30 is a blessing. You know, I talked to a couple of those coaches over the years, like Boeheim and of course Krzyzewski and Roy, and guys that did withstand. Tubby Smith, talked to Tubby not that long ago, and you know, I think it's a blessing. You know, I don't have to be here; I get to be here, and I really do believe that. You know, I hope that all deals are good both ways. This has been a good deal for me both ways. I just got to make sure now that the best is yet to come. And I really believe that. I mean, I think, I love where we're at as an institution, you know. I think our president, AD, football coach, you know, myself, I mean, look what Adam's done over in hockey, you know. It's getting to remind me of back in the days, and back in the days were pretty good, and that's the goal for us, to be one of those spokes in the wheel that helps create a real strong wheel. Last one.
I guess the UP trip, how did that come about, and how did your first reaction to being able to go back up there?
How did it come about? That's the advantage of being a Uper. I called up there and said, I want to play a game up there. And they said, oh, that'd be nice. And I said, I want to play it in the Dome. I don't want to play it at 3,000 seats. I said, I got to have some place where it's an experience for my guys. It's neat for me. Mariucci and I were up there this summer. We went over and spent some time in the Dome. And if you haven't been there, it is an incredible facility. At one time, it was the world's largest wood structure. I don't know if it still is. I think it probably is. Is it? So I called some people I knew up there, and we started the ball rolling. Our people here, LaRonda and her crew over in marketing, drove up there. So we're trying to make it a happening for both. And the tickets went on sale yesterday, and it's been real. I think there's a lot of people here that never been up to the UP. A lot of Michigan State people want to go up probably to see the leaves turn colors, you know, and all the things you get to do up there before the first snowstorm. And my goal is to get there before the first snowstorm. That might happen, it might not happen, but either way, it's going to be cool because when I was growing up, you know, believe it or not, many years ago, my first collegiate start was the 4th game of my sophomore year, and we played Michigan State at home, and on a real game. Gus Ganakis was friends with my coach, and he brought Benny White and Lindsey Hairston and Robert Chapman, and they had a really good team. And we came up there, and we were the sacrificial lambs, but it was great. I mean, the place was sold out. It was packed. There were 5,000-6,000 people in the arena we had then, and so it's kind of like I want to make sure my players in this entitled world that we're in right now, I want them to see, you know, everybody started somewhere. And I think people see where I live or what I drive, and I want to make sure they see where I lived and what I drove and how I went to school. And, you know, I'll never forget the day that I woke up and Paul Harvey, remember Paul Harvey, he had a thing on the radio that Northern Michigan, Marquette, Michigan, set a record for the coldest streaking. And I remember streaking was a thing back when 4 below 0. We had people out there streaking. So a lot of good things I remember about Northern Michigan. And I just talked to, what's the name from Starbucks?
Schultz.
Yeah, and he was with Draymond. And I said, hey, I'm going up to the UP. Schultz is a graduate of Northern Michigan. Lloyd Carr, you know, there's a lot of good things about it up there, and I was hoping to get my boy Mariucci, but he might have to be working that day, so we'll see. But it's going to be an interesting thing if you go up, as Judd would say, game Sunday, you know, leave on Thursday, get back the following Wednesday. It'll be a hell of a trip for you, you know, and hopefully you enjoy it. I think my players will enjoy it, and there's some things I got planned once we get up there. Trying to figure out whether I want to make them myself, bring my 98-year-old mother up to make them, or just buy one at the store. But pregame meal might be pasties, so everybody should be aware of that. And if I do that, and any of you media guys and gals go, I'll make sure I order a few extra ones for you guys. All right. So enjoy a little bit of practice if you come. If not, I'll see you somewhere, and we'll have a real one where we go over everything as soon as Mex figures out what's next, right?
Yes.
Thanks.
Thanks.